I mean, there's a lot of people that don't want to go to work with their spouse. I love when my spouse comes to work with me, which is not all the time because she has a lot to do too, but when she's there, I love that. My biggest highlights are probably when my kids come to work with me and they do something that just makes me feel proud. I'm like, oh, that, like, you get that good, proud dad feeling. Like, I remember when, like, the first time I took Lydia out to feed cows in the meadow down here, we're throwing hay off of a truck, and I had her drive the truck, put it 4 low, let it crawl, and just tell her to steer. She's got to stand on the seat. She was 2. Can't see where she's going or what's going on, really. She can peek over the steering wheel, kind of see, and she'd listen to me. I told Lydia, turn right, and she'd turn right. Lydia turned left, and she was just big enough, and that was like, oh, that's a good dad moment. Made me feel really proud and blessed to be doing what we're doing with our kids.
I kind of wanted to do the stay-at-home mom thing anyway, and so before we had kids, I was working and traveling up north for a little while, and Seth would say things like, we can make more money if we keep you here, and just having another person on tap to help. And after a while, that seemed to make a lot of sense to me. And then having kids, biggest perk to me is being able to send the kids out when I'm tired or there's too many in the room at the same time. And then having them be able to have those experiences, I think is really neat because that's not something that I grew up with. And so I just really enjoyed seeing how that kind of plays into their character and the perks and the fun life that they have, being able to go to work with dad and just be raised and know how to work hard. And I just think that's really neat. So
September 10th.
Yeah,
Something is going on September 10th.
Yeah, September 10th. September 10th is going on September 10th.
Do you have an anniversary? Is it your anniversary?
No. Mine was already.
Is it my anniversary?
Yeah.
No. Your kid's got a birthday on September 10th.
No, I don't have that many kids yet.
September 10th. September 10th. Are you hunting on September 10th?
Not hunting on September 10th. We're calving September 10th.
No, it's not that. It's
September 10th.
It's,
September 10th.
hey, the auction.
It is
the auction. September 10th.
Auction.
September 10th is the auction.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're
the auction closes September 10th.
It closes September 10th. How do I get on the auction?
Yeah, gotanycows.com is where it's going to be at.
Okay. What are you selling on it? I don't want to sell all of our good stuff.
Oh, dude, it's got the best
Don't
stuff.
sell all of our best stuff.
Katie Maru preg, a heifer preg off the Katie Maru cow. Original import out of Japan. All the bells, all the whistles. A homozygous polled bull is going to be on there. The Star-Lord bull.
You're selling Star-Lord?
Release. Just the semen on it.
Oh, good.
The initial release on him. Yep.
Thank
But
goodness.
it closes September 10th, so no more bids after that.
What if I don't know if I can, maybe I will go hunting September 10th. Can I bid September 11th?
Absolutely not. No. September 10th is when the auction closes.
But I thought we were friends.
September 10th is when it closes.
September 10th.
September 10th.
September 10th. All right.
People think you run a business and you have full control, which you do, but also it's long hours and there's some hard things about it. But when I get stuck in the rut of complaining, like, oh, these hours are so long, or Seth's just honoring today, it's really hard, getting stuck kind of in those rants of complaining. Man, what a life, there is nothing for me to complain about. There's really not. I mean, we're with our kids a lot. Seth's a very present dad, and even when he's here on the phone, which he naturally has to be, he's still physically there. And for them to grow up with their dad and listening to his conversations that he has on the phone, I think really helps.
And Haley is so wonderful and so easy to live with. The thing we had to figure out though when we were first married was I was used to, you could very well be working from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., go to sleep and do it again, and that was completely acceptable. Whereas for, in Haley's childhood, Haley's dad sold insurance and did have, it was a 9 to 5. And Haley's dad, one of the real lessons I learned from my father-in-law was that 5 o'clock hour was like a sacred hour. I mean, he was a consummate family man. Like if there were ever a man that loved his babies, it was John Griffith, and just set a stellar example for me in that sense. And so what I had to learn, to kind of find a middle ground, and be willing to chase and be willing to hustle, be willing to work long and hard as needed, but also to realize that the very most important thing is these kids. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how many cows we've had or how much they sold for, how well it went or how poorly it went. It matters what we did with these kids or how our families are, when it's all said and done. And so that's something I've had to learn, through my life. And I hope that that's something I can teach my kids. I say, hey, look, you need to hustle, but you need to understand that's not the very most important thing. Be willing to work and be willing to chase and be willing to sacrifice but understand that at the end of all, it is the family that's important. So